Why every bird starts singing at the exact same moment every morning. You've heard it before. Maybe you were half asleep, the room still dark, the world completely quiet. And then, one bird, a single voice breaking the silence, and within minutes, dozens, then hundreds. A wall of sound so perfectly timed it almost seems choreographed. It is. What happens in the hour before sunrise in your backyard is one of the most precisely coordinated events in the natural world, and almost nobody knows what's actually driving it. Welcome to Secret Bird World. Today we're going deep into the dawn chorus. What it really is, why it starts at the exact moment it does, what each bird is actually saying, and the one thing about it that scientists only figured out recently. Stay until the end, because the last reason birds sing at dawn is the one that changes how you hear it forever. Here's what most people assume. Birds sing at dawn because the sun comes up. Simple as that. That's wrong. The dawn chorus doesn't begin at sunrise. It begins well before it, sometimes 45 minutes to an hour before the first light reaches your yard. And it doesn't start all at once. It starts in a sequence, a specific, repeatable, species-by-species order that happens the same way, every single morning, everywhere in the world. Robins go first, almost always, then thrushes, then wrens, then sparrows and finches, then the rest. This isn't coincidence. Each species has a different sensitivity to light. Robins have extraordinarily large eyes relative to their body size. Optimized for low-light conditions, they can detect the faintest pre-dawn shift in sky brightness that no other species registers yet. So they sing first, not because they're early risers by habit, but because they literally see the dawn before everyone else does. The sequence you hear every morning is essentially a map of each bird's visual system. You're listening to biology announce itself in order. Now here's where it gets interesting. What is the dawn chorus actually for? The simple answer is territory and mating. Males are advertising their presence, their fitness, their claim to a patch of ground. But that explanation barely scratches the surface. Research from the University of Sheffield found that dawn song is acoustically different from the same bird's song later in the day. Not just louder, structurally different. More complex, more varied, more energetically demanding. Why? Because the acoustic conditions at dawn are uniquely favorable. Before the wind picks up, before human activity creates noise, before the heat of the day creates thermal turbulence in the air, sound travels farther and with less distortion in the early morning than at any other time. A bird singing at dawn can be heard at up to 20 times the distance of the same bird singing at midday. They know this, and they exploit it. But there's something else happening in that song that took researchers much longer to understand. The dawn chorus isn't just broadcasting to potential mates and rivals. It's also a health report, a daily status update sent to every other bird in the territory. A male that survives the night in good condition, uninjured, well-fed, healthy, can sustain a longer, more complex dawn song. A male that had a difficult night, that is stressed or weakened, cannot. Females listening in the canopy are measuring not just whether a male is present, but how well he survived the darkness. The song is evidence, it's proof of life and proof of fitness, delivered fresh every morning. There's one species whose relationship with the dawn chorus will stop you completely. The European robin and its close behavioral equivalents across North America doesn't just sing at dawn because of light sensitivity. Robins have been documented singing throughout the night, particularly in areas with artificial light. For a long time, scientists assumed this was simply light pollution confusing their internal clocks. It's not. New research suggests that robins sing at night in response to something else entirely: silence. In areas where daytime noise levels, traffic, construction, human activity are too high for their song to carry effectively, robins shift their singing to the only quiet window available to them: the middle of the night. They are not confused by the streetlight, they are solving an acoustic problem. A robin singing alone at 2 a.m. outside your window isn't a bird that lost track of time. It's a bird that looked at its environment, calculated when its voice would travel the farthest, and made a decision. That is not instinct in the simple sense. That is something that looks remarkably like reasoning. Here's something most people never notice about the dawn chorus, because you have to listen very carefully for it. There are gaps, not random pauses, structured ones. Birds in the same territory don't all sing at the exact same moment. They take turns in ways that reduce overlap with their nearest neighbors. A wren will pause when the song thrush in the adjacent bush is at peak volume. The thrush will pull back when the blackbird's phrase reaches its highest note. This is called acoustic partitioning, and it happens automatically, in real time, across dozens of species simultaneously. What you're hearing during the dawn chorus isn't noise, it's a negotiated broadcast. Every bird is finding its own frequency, its own timing window, its own sonic space within the larger whole. The result, that layered, impossibly rich wall of sound, is actually an organized system, more like a city's worth of radio stations carefully tuned to avoid interference than a crowd all shouting at once. When you listen to it that way, it's almost architectural. I said at the beginning that the last reason would change how you hear the dawn chorus. I meant it. For all the territory, all the mating signals, all the acoustic physics, there is one more function that researchers have only recently begun to take seriously. The dawn chorus may be how birds take attendance. In stable bird communities, the kind that form in your backyard, in a patch of woodland, along a hedgerow, individual birds recognize each other's voices. Studies have confirmed that many songbird species can distinguish the songs of their specific neighbors from those of strangers. They track who is where, who sounds strong, and critically, who goes quiet. A bird that was singing at dawn yesterday and isn't singing today is noticed. Its absence is registered by the birds around it. The community reads the chorus the way you might read a room, sensing who's there, who's missing, who sounds different than they did last week. The dawn chorus every morning is the neighborhood checking in. Every bird that sings is saying, I made it through the night. I'm still here. I'm still strong. And somewhere in the canopy above your yard, every morning before you wake up, that conversation is already happening. Now that you know what you're listening to, you'll never hear it the same way again. Have you ever woken up to the dawn chorus and just stayed still, listening? Tell me in the comments what it's like where you live. I want to know which bird breaks the silence first in your yard. If this is your first time here at Secret Bird World, subscribe. Because what happens in your backyard is far stranger and far more intelligent than most people ever realize. I'll see you in the next one.